We have Caitlin Clark making her USA Senior Camp debut. Caitlin Clark basketball slowly yet surely is creeping up on us. Can't wait to see what she's got up her sleeve.
Aja Wilson just got hit with
this decision. This decision is absolutely going to haunt Aja Wilson for years to come. No question about it. Picture this. Caitlin Clark just received the golden ticket, the kind of invitation players dream about their whole lives, a spot at Team USA's December training camp. And let's be clear, this isn't some casual off-season workout. This is the camp. The one that decides who gets to wear the red, white, and blue on the biggest stages in the world. We're talking World Cup rosters, Olympic rosters, legacy-defining moments. And where's Aja Wilson while all of this is happening? At home, watching it unfold from the outside, after months of throwing shade at Clark, after the subtle digs, the not-so-subtle comments, and the endless drama, karma didn't just show up, it walked right into her living room and delivered a cold, hard reality check. Because what's happening right now? What's happening is shaping up to be an absolute disaster for the narrative Wilson has been trying to control about her place in the game. But before I break down exactly why this moment could flip everything upside down, I need you to be brutally honest in the comments. Is Aja Wilson actually jealous of Caitlin Clark? Or is she just a fierce, misunderstood competitor caught in the noise? Because what I'm about to show you might completely change the way you see this situation.
That I don't really listen to, honestly, because I'm in season. I have other things that we need to worry about than what other people have to say. I have a scout, I have 11 other minds on my team and in my locker room that we got to make sure that we're on the same mindset. So I really can't give you the best answer on that because I really don't pay any attention to it. My goal is just to go out there and be the best that I can be for my teammates, both on and off the court, and we're going to go out there and be.
All right, let me break down exactly what just went down, because the irony here is so thick you could slice it with a butter knife. Team USA, led by the one and only Sue Bird, an undisputed legend now serving as managing director, has just dropped the official roster for the December training camp at Duke University. And let's get one thing straight right now, this is not a casual get-together, this is not players jogging through drills, taking selfies, and flying home. No, this is the camp that decides everything that matters. This is where the biggest questions in women's basketball get answered. Who's making the 2026 World Cup roster? Who's earning that once-in-a-lifetime spot on the 2028 Olympic team in Los Angeles? This is where legacies are built. This is where careers are defined. This is where the next generation of Team USA superstars is chosen. And guess who received that golden invitation, the unmistakable stamp of approval? You already know, Caitlin Clark. And guess whose name was missing, not mistakenly, not quietly, glaringly missing. Aja Wilson.
I love Caitlin Clark. There's no... I think she's amazing. I watched every time I possibly could. And our league loves her. This has nothing to do... We're just doing our job. We're going to show up. Who is ever on the other team is on the other team. We don't really care. We're going to show up and do us. And so I think this narrative of like everybody hating on Caitlin Clark, and even the black and white thing, knock it off. It's not there. It's not there. So shut down the noise. And by the way, what is she, 22? She's a 22-year-old woman with a lot of pressure.
She's not perfect.
She's not perfect.
And just sit with that for a second. Really think about what it means. The same Aja Wilson who has spent the past year taking subtle and not-so-subtle shots at Caitlin Clark, whether through petty social media jabs or constant attempts to convince the world that she's just as marketable, just as valuable, has been left off the single most important roster in women's basketball. It's a public statement louder than anything she's posted, said, or implied. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is packing her bags, lacing up her shoes, and getting ready to walk into that training camp as the clear, unstoppable face of Team USA for the next decade. If this were a movie script, people would call it too perfect. This is pure poetic justice. It's also the clearest possible reminder of just how misplaced, exaggerated, and flat-out irrational some of the anti-Clark narratives have been, especially the ones trying to pit her against black women for the sake of outrage and clicks. So let's shift to who did earn those coveted spots beside Clark. Because this roster is basically a preview of the future of women's basketball. Clark is in, of course. Paige Bueckers is making her long-awaited senior national team debut. Juju Watkins, already a rising superstaress, right there with them. Angel Reese is included too, because apparently Team USA is ready to take the Clark-Reese rivalry global. Add in Cameron Brink, Aaliyah Boston, and the veteran stability of Kelsey Plum and Jackie Young, and you're looking at Team USA's blueprint for the next era of dominance. And A'ja Wilson is not part of it. Before Wilson's defenders start typing paragraphs, let's make one thing crystal clear. This is not a denial of her talent. Nobody denies she's elite. She's a multiple-time MVP. A champion. One of the most dominant players in the WNBA. But talent alone isn't the only requirement for this version of Team USA. They need players who can elevate the entire program on the court, on the world stage, and across the global market. Players who draw massive audiences, create worldwide excitement, and push the sport into a new era. And right now, in this moment, nobody does that better than Caitlin Clark. Yes, that includes A'ja Wilson. Sue Bird didn't make this decision by flipping a coin. She is one of the greatest to ever play the game and has one of the sharpest basketball minds in the world. She knows exactly what kind of players excel in international competition. She knows what it takes to sustain long-term dominance. And she knows what Team USA must build if they want to expand the global reach of women's basketball. When Sue Bird looks at Caitlin Clark, she sees the total package. When she looks at the current situation surrounding Wilson, she apparently sees something that doesn't fit the future they're designing. And that future matters. Team USA isn't just trying to win gold anymore. Their mission is bigger: grow the sport, expand the fan base, bring in millions of new viewers, and turn women's basketball into a global powerhouse. Caitlin Clark delivers all of that naturally. Her games break viewership records. Her jersey sales dwarf the rest of the league. Her social media engagement is unmatched. Global brands are fighting to sign her. Kids all over the world are picking up a basketball because of her. That is who Team USA wants at the center of its next chapter. That is why Clark is in and why Wilson is out.
Yeah, she's pretty incredible. I mean, you watch her and it's unguardable. There's nothing anybody can do to stop it. Like, she's just that dominant, whether it's her mid-range game, she can put it on the floor, she's just so athletic, but also she affects the game on both ends. Like, she's a really good defensive player, great rim protector, just so athletic, and obviously she's been able to shoot the three pretty well this year too, so it's fun to watch. Like I said, like, everybody in the league knows you can't guard it. You basically just live with what she's going to do to you every single night. It's just you contain it as best you can, and she's going to make some shots that are really tough. And like I said, like it's going to be a tall task. It's going to take multiple people. You just
now,
have to contain
to truly understand the magnitude of this decision, we need to rewind for a moment and look at how we even arrived here. Because let's be honest, the lead-up to Caitlin Clark's rise and A'ja Wilson's response has been one of the most fascinating storylines in women's basketball. It really began with the Nike deal. Clark's historic, record-breaking endorsement contract that instantly shifted the landscape of the sport. Instead of simply celebrating what was undeniably a landmark win for all female athletes, Wilson appeared unable to let Clark have her moment. Almost immediately, she launched her own I Have a Shoe Too campaign, posting photos of her Nike sneakers across social media. What should have been a unifying moment turned into an uncomfortable spectacle, as though Wilson couldn't stand being overshadowed for even a single news cycle. Then came the cryptic posts. "What is delayed is not denied" became Wilson's new mantra, repeated time and time again as Clark's popularity skyrocketed. The message was clear: she believed she should be getting the same attention, the same opportunities, the same commercial success. But while Wilson waited for her moment, Clark was out earning hers through record viewership, unmatched fan engagement, and game-changing performances. The real turning point, though, was the Time Athlete of the Year award. Clark made history as the first women's basketball player ever to receive it. Instead of celebrating a massive win for the sport, Wilson's social media activity exploded. She liked posts questioning Clark's deservingness, amplified content suggesting others were more worthy, and generally signaled her frustration. It was impossible to miss. And then came the claim that she earns the same speaking fees as Clark, an assertion that raised more eyebrows than anything else. Brands don't just want Clark, they chase her. They build campaigns around her. She drives demand on a level women's sports has rarely seen. Pretending those numbers are identical simply strained credibility. Every major accomplishment Clark achieved seemed to trigger another reactive message from Wilson. Clark breaks a rookie record. Wilson posts about veteran experience. Clark leads her team to the playoffs. Wilson emphasizes championship pedigree. Clark gets national media attention. Wilson suddenly highlights media bias. The pattern became predictable, which brings us to today. This Team USA camp invitation is the ultimate validation of Clark's rise and the clearest sign yet of how the program views its future. They had both players on the board. They evaluated their skill sets, leadership styles, chemistry with teammates, commercial impact, and long-term fit. And they chose Clark not just by inviting her but by not inviting Wilson. That is not a passive oversight. That is a firm, intentional statement about where Team USA believes the next era of women's basketball is heading. The coaching staff includes elite basketball minds Cheryl Reeve, Kara Lawson, Stephanie White, people who are respected across the sport for their objectivity and basketball intelligence. They don't play favorites. They don't make emotional decisions. They select players based on value, fit, and the future of the program, and right now, Caitlin Clark checks every single box. Add in the fact that Clark's teammate Aaliyah Boston will be there too, a player with whom Clark developed brilliant rookie season chemistry, and the picture becomes even clearer. Coaches are going to watch those two closely, because if their partnership thrives on the international stage, it could form the backbone of Team USA for years. Wilson, meanwhile, is on the outside looking in. The youth movement at this camp is extraordinary. Paige Buchers, Juju Watkins, Cameron Brink, and more. These are the next generational stars. And they are all entering this camp aligned with Clark, not Wilson. That shift is monumental. Wilson once saw herself as the veteran leader meant to guide the next era. Instead, that position appears to be Clark's, and part of what makes Clark so compelling to Team USA is her approach to success. She always deflects praise to teammates. She handles wins and losses with grace. She elevates those around her. Her authenticity resonates with fans and clearly with the decision-makers. Wilson, in contrast, often centers the spotlight on herself. When attention shifts elsewhere, frustration follows. And that approach becomes a liability in a team-first environment like USA Basketball. And yes, the business element matters massively. Team USA needs stars who draw viewers, sell tickets, attract sponsors, and boost global engagement. Clark does all of that. Wilson simply doesn't generate the same crossover power. Clark is appearing on Forbes lists. She's influencing golf audiences. She's shaping pop culture. She is, in every sense, a phenomenon. Wilson is a phenomenal player. Clark is a cultural movement, and that difference, fair or notice, enormous. The numbers don't lie. Clark's games break viewership records, sell out road arenas, spike streaming subscriptions, and even boost local businesses when she plays in their city. She creates economic momentum. Wilson's numbers are strong but not remotely comparable, so now Wilson must watch from home while Clark steps into the defining stages of an international basketball career. The 2026 World Cup. The 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles. The biggest stages in the sport where legends are cemented forever, and Clark will be there. Wilson won't. Team USA is clearly building its future around Clark. They're surrounding her with elite young talent. They're building chemistry early. They're planning not just for one tournament, but for an entire era. And in trying so hard to tear Clark down, Wilson inadvertently highlighted the exact qualities she lacks and the very qualities Clark possesses in abundance. So here we are. Team USA has spoken louder than any social media post ever could. They chose Caitlin Clark, and they did not choose A'ja Wilson. But what do you think? Was this the right call? Or did A'ja Wilson get snubbed? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like if you enjoyed the breakdown, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on this unfolding drama.